Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. So glad you could make it in. We're going. Yes. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. So glad you could make it in. So glad you pressed past your pain and every obstacle to be here so that we can prepare, plan, and produce and progress. Oh, my God, I got so many P's in there. One too many, but that's okay because we're going to make it happen. So glad that you made it in tonight. All right, so glad you chose to be here. There's so many things you could choose to do. There's so many flavors of ice cream, but you chose to be here at the Jam, and I am grateful. So, wow, so much is going on, and more than that, things are happening. These next 2 weeks are going to be so impactful. So we have to just, hold on and watch everything. Stay alert. Things are going to be happening these next 2 weeks. All right. So I have to say that when I heard some recent occurrences in the news, it was very concerning, very, very concerning. The two things I'm thinking about is one, the one we discussed last week with Justin Moan when he decapitated his own father, who was an agent for the government, and also with this young lady, which we did not discuss, but we know came up in the news recently, where she went into the church, Lakewood Church, and there was a shooting. Although she opened fire, I'm told, and she's opened fire, the story goes, with her rifle. She went in with a trench, and she had her child with her. And they ended up killing her. Her child is in critical condition, and there's one person who had an injury to the leg, and she went to the Spanish-speaking portion of the church. So I really want to study that and see, like what was behind all that. I'm sure there's a story there, but I haven't had a chance to look at Justin Moan. Very, very, very interesting. Because it seems he called his father a traitor. So I'm wondering what information he knew about his father. Not that anything would justify what he did, but what just to understand his motive. But what did he know about his father as an agent for the government that he called him a traitor to the country? And he also said that all of them, all the rest of them. So he knew a lot. And he was, a bright young man because he wrote books. He was in college, and the only one that visited him was his father. So they must have been pretty close. And this is what he did. So it's really a very interesting story, and may have to do with the targeting program. And I'm not sure about the other young lady, but I'm certainly going to look into that, and I'll share about it once I do my research. I haven't done it. But these two occurrences brought this word to mind, and the word is temperance. And it's just one word, and it's a very powerful word, because if we learn how to be tempered, it's just a great asset. You'll be at an even keel, like balance, and even it insinuates that you're at peace and that you're just calm. So we really want to look at that word. So I'm asking Major Pat if you can define temperance for me, please. I asked her to look this word up because I really want to talk a little bit about this tonight.
Will do. Temperance. Okay. In its modern use is defined as moderation or voluntary self-restraint. It is typically described in terms of what a person voluntarily refrains from doing. This includes restraint from revenge by practicing mercy and forgiveness, restraint from arrogance by practicing humility and modesty, restraint from excesses such as extravagant luxury or splurging, restraint from overindulgence in food and drink, and restraint from rage or craving by practicing calmness and equality. The distinction between temperance and self-control is subtle. A person who exhibits self-control wisely refrains from giving in to unwise desires. A person who exhibits temperance does not have unwise desires in the first place because they have wisely shaped their character in such a way that their desires are proper ones. Aristotle suggested this analogy. An intemperate person is like a city with bad laws. A person who lacks self-control is like a city that has good laws in the books but doesn't enforce them. Temperance has been described as a virtue by religious thinkers, philosophers, and recently psychologists, particularly in the positive psychology movement. It has a long history in philosophical and religious thoughts. It is generally characterized as the control over excess and expressed through characterizations such as chastity, modesty, humility, self-regulation, hospitality, discord, abstinence, and forgiveness. Each of these involves restraining an excess of some impulse, such as sexual desire, vanity, or anger. The virtue is often depicted as a woman holding two vessels, transferring water from one to another. It is one of the cardinal virtues in Western thought and is found in Greek philosophy and Christianity, as well in Eastern traditions such as Buddhism and Hinduism. Temperance is one of the 6 virtues in the values in action inventory of strengths, along with wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, and transcendence. The term temperance can also refer to the abstinence from alcohol, especially with reference to the temperance movement. It can also refer to alcohol moderation. That was Wikipedia.
Okay, thank you. Major Pat, you said 6 virtues: wisdom, courage. What do you see where those 6 are named?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me move back over there.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, and transcendence.
Thank you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I miss humanity. Wow, those are the 6 virtues. I love it. All right. So let's hear Webster's definition.
Okay, Webster. Temperance. Moderation in action, thought, or feeling restraint. Habitual moderation in the indulgence of appetites or passions. Moderation in abstinence from the use of alcoholic beverages.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So well read, Major Pat. I appreciate it.
Thank you. More than welcome.
Right. All right. Thank you. So if we look at temperance, wow, what a powerful word. Some of the things, it's mainly saying that we have self-restraint, that we can refrain from things, from desires, things that we want. You know, sometimes people, they want something and they know it's not good for them, but they have to have it anyway. And so they do it anyway. You know, it means they have no restraint, the ability to just say no to themselves, you know. And so that temperance is key, because if you go after something that you know is not good for you, that is like participating in self-destructive behavior. So to be tempered is to say, okay, I know it's not good for me. I'm just not going to do it. So the ability to refrain yourself and that self-restraint. I mean, it's so key, and it seems so simple that we're able to control ourselves, but it's a very difficult thing because we're doing it. We're making choices every day. There are temptations all the time. You know, there's a part, and this is not my Bible day, but there's a part in the Bible that says, when I attempt to do good, evil is present. So when you attempt to do good things, there's something there tempted. There's evil there saying, "Oh, go ahead, do it. Go ahead, eat that piece of chocolate cake. Go ahead and do it, whatever it is." Okay, so but I'm thinking about this program. I want to get to that, but first I want to look at some of the words that helps us to be tempered. Is if we show mercy, forgiveness. Dang, these words really sound familiar. Humility. If we function like a minimalist, not being so luxurious, we have to have everything elaborate. My challenge, interesting. Function like a minimalist, not be gluttonous, eating everything, drinking everything. Calmness, just to remain calm. To be smart about things. The tempered people are smart. They're in their they don't get certain desires because they're smart. They don't even expect or have that as a goal. Their expectations are already, it says appropriate. I don't really like that word because it has a judgmental meaning, but their expectations are within a certain boundary. Modesty, to be modest. Decorum, so you have respect for manners and what should be done and how things should be done. Some people don't care. Things should be done a certain way, and they have just absolutely no decorum. This program can get you to get to that point. But anyway, abstinence and hospitality, just serving people and wanting people to be happy and comfortable. People in your presence, make them happy and comfortable, be hospitable. So these things help you to be tempered. And so if you think on these things and you study these things for yourself, it will help you to be tempered. So I was thinking about the long-term. Okay, wait, let me not jump the gun. So when I think of the long-term impacts of this program, I think about the wear and tear on our resources, on our bodies, our emotions. And we can all rightfully right now be diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is big from the service, people in the service, veterans and so forth, because of what they go through. I mean, to go into everyday life where everything is so structured, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you're with the kids, you this and that, whatever your lifestyle is, to go from that to on the battlefield and what you could go through on the battlefield. And even if you're not in war, to deal with the things of the service, getting up, doing the regiment, so and so, and being in that confines of the barracks and all that. PTSD is traumatic because out of your regular day-to-day routine to be thrown into something like that, and it's so different, is what causes the PTSD. So for us to be free, doing everything we want, this and that, and find out what we're dealing with right now, the weapons of war. We're in a war, a silent war against us, against our bodies, against our minds, against our relationships, against our finances, against everything we do. Yes, it's called PTSD. So, and that might equate to pay without work for the rest of our lives. How about that? So it's very important that we, stay in touch with that. But nevertheless, people respond differently to trauma. Some people can go to that war, come back, and they jump right back into their routine because they expected it to be like that from watching war movies or whatever. They go right there, they deal with it, and come back, and they go right into their routine. But some other people go to that war and come back, and it's like they can't make the adjustment. Maybe they don't have the relationships that they had before they left. People turn their backs on them, or maybe they are there for them, but it feels different, and they're having nightmares and dreams and night sweats and so forth. So people respond differently to trauma, just as we respond differently to what we're going to. So I'm thinking about three reactions that we have, three basic reactions that will come from long-term being in the TI program, and that's sad, mad, or resolved. And if we look at sad, and we take it to the extreme. Sad to the extreme becomes depression and even suicidal thoughts, and maybe even suicide. Mad to the extreme, when you get so mad that this program won't stop. They won't stop. No one will listen. It hasn't ended yet. You can get so angry and enraged that you do something homicidal, or you may have homicidal thoughts, or even just aggressive thoughts, assault thoughts, and inclinations, and this is what you want to do, and it consumes you. Or you can be resolved. Some people just feel like, well, I'm in this. God let it happen, so maybe I'm supposed to be here. The closer we can get to feeling resolved, whether it be from God or from just like, this is my life and so be it, I'm dealing with it, the closer we can get to that helps us to be tempered and to deal with the day-to-day. And trust me, I know it's difficult, but but look at the other alternatives. You don't want to be sad to the point where you can't get out of bed, sad to the point where you don't want to talk to anyone, or angry to the point where you're cursing everybody out, pushing people away, not being productive. So the closer you can get to being resolved that you're in this, and just keep your feet on the ground and stay grounded and make movements, keep putting one foot in front of the other, the better it'll be for you. That find that place, do the things. We talked several times about what makes you happy, what brings you back around, what, find those moments, those things that will help to center you. All right, and I think that's all I wanted to say there. My prayer is that everyone is able to find that balance right now, because things are being wound tight. Things are wound tight. You know how you wind up those old clocks, the little alarm clocks before, little clocks. We used to wind them up all the way tight. I can't remember what this is I'm thinking of, but then it unwinds. It unwinds. When it gets too tight, it begins to unwind. And that's what we're looking for, that release. And it's about to happen. It's going to happen. So we need to feel that. We need that. You could feel the people being fed up and tired, and we're at that place. So my encouragement tonight is to find your even keel, find your ground, find your balance, find your resolve, to be tempered. Think of these words and work on yourself, showing self-restraint and refraining from the negative. All right? And I know it's not easy. So welcome to the J.A.M. again. My question tonight is, if I poured you a glass of your favorite beverage, number one, what is it? And number two, is it half full or half empty? I'm going to pour it midway in the glass. Is it half full, half empty, and what's in the glass? All right, we're going to open up. I'm going to hear from you, and I thank you again for being here on the J.A.M. Hi, welcome to the J.A.M., everybody. So glad you can make it in. Please announce yourself.
Hi, this is Tony Medina.
I'm hearing quite a few people. Let's try one at a time. Welcome to the J.A.M. Please announce yourself. If you have too much noise in your background, mute yourself, please. If there's an echo in your phone, mute yourself until you're ready to talk, and then mute yourself again so that we can do this part open. And thank you so much. Welcome to the J.A.M. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from. Answer the question. If I pour your favorite beverage, what is it? And I pour it midway. Is it half empty or half full? Go ahead.
Hi, this is Tony Medina, and I'm in
Hi,
Mesa,
Tony.
Arizona. Hi there.
Hi.
You'll be pouring me a glass of Werner's ginger ale, and it'll be half full.
All right. Thank you, Tony. You got it. You did it all right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the J.A.M.
Hi,
Good evening,
this is
Sweeney.
Michelle. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, your name? Go ahead, ma'am.
This is Michelle in Oklahoma.
Hi, Michelle.
LaCroix. Hi, how y'all doing? Good to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I like LaCroix with a little bit of orange flavor drops in it, half full.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for that. LaCroix. I have to look that up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the J.A.M, Oklahoma.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Hello, this is Rosa from Bakersfield.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the J.A.M. If I was to pour you a glass of something midway, what is the drink and your favorite drink, and is it half empty or half full? Okay. All right, Bakersfield. Glad you made it in here. Thank you for being here. All right, next person. My pleasure.
Pastor Millicent.
Good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Good evening. Hi. Is that Nilsa?
Pastor Millicent.
Millicent. Hi, Dr. Millicent. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I would have an Arnold Palmer, half sweet tea, half lemonade, and it would be half full.
I love it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the J.A.M.
Constance, Phoenix, Arizona.
Hi, Constance. Wait, Constance, before you go, I hear someone else.
Okay.
1 second. Did someone say something? Phoenix, Arizona? Okay, go ahead, Constance.
I would like to have a big red soda, it's my favorite, and it would be half empty.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Constance. Thank you for your honesty.
Hi, guys.
Big red soda. I don't even know what big red soda is.
Hi, Gaji.
Hi, how are you?
This is G in Virginia.
Hi, G in Virginia. Welcome to the
Hi.
J.A.M.
Well, thank you. I would have some peach schnapps with just a little bit of vodka.
Okay.
And I would have it half full.
All right. Welcome to the J.A.M, G. Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks for being here. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is Twinny.
Hi, Twinny.
How are y'all?
I'm good. Welcome to the J.A.M.
Thank you. My favorite drink is hot tea. And it's not half full, but it is. My tea overflows all the time. My cup overflows.
All right, okay.
All right.
Welcome to the J.A.M. Welcome to the J.A.M, Twinny. Look forward to being on your show tomorrow night. We'll talk about it later.
How you doing?
Thank you.
All right, sir. Go ahead, sir. I hear some bass in the house.
Yeah, this is Tori in New Jersey, and I would love to have my favorite IPA and hang out with all the sisters from Targeted Justice, Gaji, Devin, Melody, and Anna, and just have a good time, and especially after we get paid.
All right. Welcome to the J.A.M, Tori. Thank you. I'm looking forward to that time. Did you say IPA? IPA?
Yep.
Y'all giving me stuff to look up. Big Red, LaCroix, IPA. All right, I'm writing it down. Thank you. Welcome to the J.A.M.
I'm going to down the first one and have one ready to go for the second round.
All right. Okay, Tori. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and if I pour you a drink midway, is it half empty, half full, and what is it? Your favorite drink?
Hello, this is Tanya from Arkansas.
Hey, Tanya from Arkansas.
Hello. I am going to have a cold, full glass of hazelnut coffee.
All right.
That's my favorite.
Some iced coffee.
Yeah.
Welcome to the J.A.M. Glad you could make it in. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Please announce yourself. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, I hear two people. All right, go ahead, Tanya. 1 second, ma'am. Go ahead.
Tim from Australia. I would have a yellowtail wine half full, and I would celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you. Yellowtail wine half full. Love it. Thank you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hey, guys, it's Diane from St. Louis. How are you?
Oh, wait. Okay, there's two people. Hey, Gaji, wait 1 second. The other person that was talking when Tanya was talking, please go ahead.
It's Dana from Detroit, Michigan, and I would have a glass of room temperature water full.
All right. Thank you, Dana from Detroit. Welcome to the Jam. All right. Go ahead. The person who gracefully waited. Thank you.
Hey, Gaji, Diane from St. Louis. How are you?
I'm good, Diane from St. Louis. Welcome to the Jam.
Yeah, I would do a Topo Chico with lime, and it would be definitely half full.
All right. Thank you. Topo Chico with wine? Boy, y'all give lime. With lime. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I got a lot to look up. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Jam. All right, next caller, please.
Hi, Gaji. Donna in Oregon.
Hi, Donna.
I would like 7-Up with some grape juice or raspberry cranberry juice. And
wow. Half what?
Half full.
Half full. Thank you, Donna. Sounds interesting. I like that drink. All right, sir, I heard you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I would probably like a small glass of peach schnapps with ice.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Half full, half empty.
Half full.
All right. Okay. We have a lot of positive-minded people in here. Beautiful. Go ahead. All right, guys. It's slowing down. It's like popcorn when it starts.
Nina from Florida.
Go ahead. Hi, Nina. Hi, Nina.
I would take coconut water.
Okay. I pour it midway. Is it half empty or half full?
Half full.
All right. Thank you, Nina. Thank you for being here. All right. Next caller, please.
Hello?
Yes, hi.
This is Karen in New Jersey. Cold Vengeance smoothie. Full.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
This is Karen in New Jersey.
Hi, Karen. And what would you have? You have a smoothie?
A Cold Vengeance smoothie. Full.
Oh. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, is it half empty, half full?
It's half full.
All right. All right. Welcome to the Jam. Thank you for being here, Karen. All right, guys. We're going to get ready to get on with the next portion of the program. So glad you could make it in. All right, we're going to go into Q&A, and we're going to review what's going on in the news, and then we'll come back for your questions. All right? So interesting enough this week, I don't have a lot of videos. I don't have any videos, actually, but I have some articles. I have just a few articles, and last week we didn't get a chance for question and answer, so this week we will certainly be able to do that. All right, so let me look at the articles that I have. I just want to mention something that's going on in the news as well, some things that we're watching for, and, you know, I'm kind of disappointed about this. So you remember that Senator Gary Peters, before Christmas, he sent a memo to the Alphabet Soup asking about the watch list, and we remember that Elizabeth Warren and 12 others, so it's 13 of them, sent a memo demanding a response by January 9th to the Alphabet Soup about the watch list. And they responded, obviously, because they had a briefing, a private briefing on January 9th. And February 9th has passed already, so you would think 30 days, within 30 days they would get back to the public since they made this grand thing that this is what we're doing. And we have not heard anything. I don't know if they received a silent spanking or some kind of gag order. I don't want to go there. I'm just going to believe that it's a delay in the response, because usually I would think in 30 days they would not only have a response, but they would also have some corrective action. Like they already know. We know it has been pointed out several times between the House Judiciary Select Committee's hearings with Jim Jordan as chairman, how flawed it is from the the fact that they're following around an 8-week-old baby and all these people that they found on there and shouldn't be and so forth, and the court cases that are going on right now. So it has been proven publicly that there are flaws in the list, and yet they haven't revealed it. So everybody's asking about it. They haven't said what's happened. So we want to keep. So I'm thinking of, in terms of a new initiative, and I'll talk about it later, if we should do something about that, and we could talk about that together as a group. Meanwhile, one of the articles I have is Elizabeth Warren, again, is involved in a proposal. So it's Senator Kane from Virginia, Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts. There's a senator from Oregon, Maryland, and Vermont. And they are putting money together, $10 million to go to CHIRG, C-H-I-R-G, and they want to amend the National Security Act. And I like what it says, but I'm not sure. I want to see that it directly impacts us. So it seems like it indirectly impacts us, and if we push, it could impact us. But let me just get it here. Okay. Okay. So this article, wait a minute, is this it? Okay. Kane, Warren, and colleagues proposed amendment to monitor and reduce harm to civilians from United States original weapons. So this is February 9th, 2024, Washington, D.C. It says today these senators, and it names each one of them, introduced an amendment to the National Security Act of 2024 that would require the State Department to review the use of U.S. weapons over the past year in conflicts around the world, including by Israel in Gaza, and to ensure that any use of U.S. weapons is in accordance with U.S. policy and international law. And that's why I said it can impact us, because they said any use of the United States weapons is in accordance with U.S. policy and international law. So we need to know what the U.S. policy is for the use of U.S. weapons and the international law. We're not so concerned about the international law, but the U.S. policy of using U.S. weapons. Specifically, the amendment would provide $10 million for the State Department, Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, DRL, in coordination with the state's Political Military Affairs Office to implement its new Civilian Harm Incident Response Guidance, that's the CHIRG, to investigate and monitor if U.S. weapons contribute to excessive civilian harm. Okay? So I know that they're going to be looking outward, like internationally, but it's up to us to get it to be directed inward. It also requires the State Department to publish its CHURD guidance and annually report all civilian harm events considered in the preceding year. Prime Minister, oh my God, I'm going to mess up his name, Netanyahu's and his right-wing government's bombing campaign has killed nearly 30,000 Palestinians, said Senator Warren. It is the responsibility of the United States to ensure our aid is used in compliance with international law and advances long-term peace, including reducing harm to civilians and prohibiting aid to any country that restricts humanitarian assistance. So they want to make sure, okay, that when they're doing stuff outside of the United States, that they take care of the civilians, okay? So take care of us, okay? The United States has a responsibility to ensure that any taxpayer-funded military assistance we provide our allies is used in a manner consistent with our values and international law. This amendment includes the State Department with the resources it needs provides the State Department with the resources it needs to conduct crucial oversight into how U.S. origin weapons are used, said Senator Kaine. This critical amendment will strengthen efforts to hold all U.S. partners who receive American security assistance to the same standard, including in times of conflict, said Senator Merkley. Under international humanitarian law, countries have an obligation to protect civilians. A military campaign that causes catastrophic damage to civilian infrastructure and disproportionate loss of civilian life is consistent with international humanitarian law and must stop. The funds Congress sends to Israel must be used in compliance with international laws to advance regional stability and preserve the hope for peace, said Senator Welch. The U.S. must provide the necessary resources to track any reports of U.S. weapons being used to cause civilian harm. This amendment will enhance the U.S. government's capacity to do just that and to further ensure that U.S. assistance is used in line with our values, said Senator Van Hollen. Okay, so we want to follow this and see if this is indeed passed, because this is something that we could possibly call on when we're able to prove that U.S. weapons are harming us. Okay, and that's something we need to look to do with our tiny spectrum analyzer. Let's let it go through the court case, but including. In addition to the court case, we need to do what we can in our homes to find the frequencies that are coming in our house with the RF meter and the tiny spectrum analyzer so that we can find out where things are harming us and let the court case, the targeted justice case, show where it's coming from, okay? And that will help us. All right, so that was the first article. I just have two more tonight, and then I want to go over this New Hampshire bill. And this one is this is just showing again how our threat to free speech, and it's there's a group called Move On, and they're very they're active politically, and this is not, I'm not showing any kind of political tie. I show from bipartisan from both sides, the Democrat and Republican, but this is showing us how, in this case, I believe it's the Republicans are going after this Democratic organization. So I think that's what it is, and asking that they investigate them just because they're on the other side of the fence. And that's the kinds of things that we don't want to do. That's the kind of things that enables the program that is against us to exist. There has to be, we have to function in a way that's ethical and morally correct, and we have to support that and insist on it in this country. All right, so this says, dear Move On member, it's a hard reality that in America in 2024, Move On is under attack for speaking truth to power and organizing to stop Donald Trump from plunging our country into authoritarianism. No Labels is the name of the group, and now Trump's former Attorney General Bill Barr are calling on the Justice Department to investigate Move On for criminal harassment, extortion, and unlawful conspiracy under RICO, the law often used to prosecute organized crime for criticizing No Labels and exposing their plans that would install Trump in the White House. Core to our democracy are the First Amendment rights of free speech and assembly. Attempting to weaponize the government to criminally investigate Move On or any other organization and other pro-democracy organizations in order to gag us is the latest evidence of the terrifying state of our democracy. Perhaps we should not be surprised, given that right-wing billionaires like Harlan Crow, the benefactor of Clarence Thomas's luxury lifestyle, and Rupert Murdoch are among many funding No Labels. But one thing is clear, we cannot and will not back down. We are fighting for the soul of our country, and we won't stop speaking the truth and organizing to save our democracy. Okay. Okay. I think that's all I want to do there. That there's a movement to invest. People are like just abusing the power that they have and pointing at the enemies to get them investigated, similar to what this program is doing. All right, and the third one is, this is from the Pentagon. Let me see. Okay. The title is Pentagon's Directed Energy Guru Sees Uncomfortable Choices Ahead for Military Commanders. And I'll go through the article and I'll tell you why I think it's interesting. So I'm not going to go over everything in the article. I'm going to start with it's about the Department of Defense. They're working with directed energy weapons, and they want to use high energy lasers, and they're trying to get them from the lab to the field. So let's look at some of the things they say about it, which I found interesting right here. We have a new way of fighting. We have a new way of engaging targets with direct energy. Lasers and microwaves are slightly different. We don't talk about microwaves so much. Why not? We don't talk about microwaves so much. There's different classification hurdles, but we need to have a command and control capability, not to prescribe how the services would implement the C2, but somewhere in their command and control, they need to understand, well, what would the direct energy system do against this target? So now you have to know which target it is, or at least roughly the class, if not the actual specific type. Do we have understanding of lethality against that target? If we don't, can we make some assumptions given, similar characteristics? Do we have a timetable for engagement for the kill chain that makes sense, Peterkin said. So this is in trying to decide whether to use the laser or not. That's the C2 they're calling the laser to implement this laser thing. And so what it made me think, and I'm going to read one or two more things from this article and then leave this alone. But it made me think that they're experimenting with the microwaves, as we well know, and they must know that the experiment is over, and they're looking to now figure out about lasers, and they obviously can't use those. I think they're too powerful to use on human beings. So when they talk about lasers, and we'll see that in a few minutes, but they talk about using them versus a missile, for example. So let me just look at something else they say. Name the weapons. Okay. I want to name the weapons that they talk about using. Okay, let's look at this. Directed energy is basically electromagnetic radiation. So that's the weapons they use against us, whether it's light or RF energy, and therefore travels at the speed of light. For those of you who haven't looked up your physics books recently for comparison, we talk about hypersonic threats being really, really fast. That's somewhere in the 5 to 15 Mach range. The speed of light is about 100,000 times faster than anything we or anybody else is fielding with hypersonic systems. It's really fast, and that means it can touch a threat or a target nearly instantaneously. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean we affect it instantaneously. There's oftentimes a dwell time required, but that speed of light engagement is what particularly allows us to take on maneuverable threats, because we can move electromagnetic beams much faster than we can ever move a defensive missile, for example. So that speed of light is a big factor, Peterkin said. Okay. Now, I think there was one other thing. Okay, they ask a few questions. All right. I found this interesting. And that's the sensors on the battlefield. You need to know whether it's ships or for the Army bases. Do you know what's coming towards you? Do you know when it's going to come in? How are you going to layer your various defensive systems to take on that threat and other threats? So it will quickly become more than just about the weapon. It'll become the command and control integration and the weapon coordination and assignment that has to come along with that sort of fight, he added. So these are the kinds of things we can ask ourselves. Do you know what's coming towards you? Do you know when it's going to come in? Most likely when you're sleeping, when you're still, when you're, ask yourself this about the things that the attacks, the assaults that come to you. How are you going to layer your various defensive systems, your shielding, to take on that threat and other threats? So it will quickly become more than just about the weapon. It'll become about the command and control integration and the weapon coordination and assignment that has to come along with that sort of fight. And I'm saying is that, since we are being attacked with military weapons, we have to start thinking military, and we have to start thinking defense. Do you know what time it's coming? Do you know how long it's coming? Do you know how it comes? And do you have layers of defense to prepare yourself against this? And I know many people do. I've just in my my little circle, I've just hear all the different kinds of shielding and different levels of shielding and layers of shielding. So, it depends on how much you're willing to do and research and get out there and do and put on what you're going to wear outside, what you're going to wear inside, and how much are you going to be uncomfortable and inconvenienced and change from your day-to-day because of what's going on. All right. All right, so those are the only 3 articles I have, but we do have some. I do want to review the lawsuits that we're watching when we do the jammies, but I wanted to also go over the New Hampshire bill, and this really would have been a good night to read the next plaintiff, but I think I'm going to let us do a Q&A instead. All right, so the House bill for New Hampshire, people were talking about it last week, and depending on what happens in the next 2 weeks, I may ask Attorney Anna Toledo to come and talk a little bit about it from her perspective, and also about the lawsuits that we're going to discuss. But here, this is the House bill. So this bill is introduced, okay? It's introduced as of February 8th, 2024. The word got around so quickly, I thought it was passed, but it was just introduced on February 8th, and it's making, people are looking at it and thinking about it. And I also thought that Jean Shaheen was involved. So, excuse me, that is not correct. I'm glad I studied it. So the two senators, I think it's Gerard and, let me see if I can find it. Did I write it down? Yes, Gerard and Potenza. Those senators introduced the bill February 8, 2024. This is the title of the bill: Prohibiting the Intentional Release of Polluting Emissions, including cloud seeding, weather modification, excessive electromagnetic radio frequency, and microwave radiation, and making penalties for violation of such prohibition. Okay? The thing about the bill is it was just introduced, so it has to go through the process. I think it's great that these people are standing up, and to me, finally it seems that elected officials on both sides are doing something because they know that more of them are aware of what's going on. And so they're doing something for the American people. And we, in the meantime, are suffering through it, or just have to hold on and wait while it happens, while it unfolds. If you think about it, if they just open up and say, well, this is what they're doing to 400,000 Americans, more than 400,000 Americans, it could turn, there could be just anarchy and just wildness all over the place. So I understand they want to control, not have a riot. But, in the meantime, what are you doing? This is Attorney Anna Toledo put in a preliminary injunction which said this is an emergency. We have babies, we have kids, we have elderly people and standing against microwave assaults and being harmed, and they ignored it. So it's like, and people say more evidence? No, the evidence is clear. This is being done, and we need somebody to intervene and do something now because things are happening. So the blood is on the hands of the courts because they, anything happening since January 11th of 2023 is really on their hands. Because they know, as far as we're concerned, they're apprised of what's going on, and they're going through the whole process slowly. All right, so the bill was introduced, and we're looking forward to see. We're going to just follow it. I'm just trying to see if there are any good things about the bill. I don't know what cloud seeding is. I'm hoping they're talking about those chemtrails. I think they would call it chemtrails, but they talk about weather modification. I know they have that ability to modify the weather and pollution. So it seems to be about the environment. So this is probably people that were on the committee with the environment that created this. And so we're going to see if it passes. All right. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in here. If you have any questions about it, I can share it with you, but it's New Hampshire House Bill 1700, and it was introduced right now. It's called Introduced to the Floor. So whatever the next steps is will be. All right, so I want to mention a few other things, and then I'm going to open up for Q&A. If you have a question, you can star 6, and I'll deal with the questions from this week and last week since we didn't get to do it. I'm sorry. The lawsuits, the responses to the lawsuits. So the good part is that it's time for the judges to respond. It's time for the judges to respond to the FICRE versus FBI, which is now the FBI versus FICRE lawsuit. We watched it before. They usually respond in a month, so any day now we should have a response to that. That we're watching because that impacts us, and there's some things that really pertain to us directly, and I would let the attorney share that when we invite her to share when it's time. The other one is our lawsuit, which Attorney Anna Toledo sent the last motion in on December 6th. And we looked at the other case, and the other case took about 72 days to get a response. Our 72nd day is February 18th. So we expect by February 18th, and today is the 13th. So within the next 5 days, we should hear from the judges. So those of you who know how to pray. Whatever you do, just let's get this down. So the 3 choices that I see, and I'm a layman. I'm not a attorney. An attorney, I function in a litigious manner as much as possible. But the 3 I see are 1. They can dismiss. They still have that option. They can grant the defendant's motion to dismiss, and they can dismiss the whole thing. 2, they can give us what we want, which attorney requested, an oral argument, a date for an oral argument, at which time we will mobilize and go on to the rally, go to New Orleans, and be present while the attorney, argues the case before the judges. Or 3, they could say, okay, we have a date to continue we're going to send the court case back to Texas, and you all can carry on there. So they will just move the case forward without the oral argument. We want the oral argument, but they have that option as well. So very unlikely, but an option. And maybe there's something else that I don't see. I can certainly ask. We can ask Attorney Anna Toledo, but before she even gets here, hopefully we have a response. So we're looking at those 2 cases, and there's another case that is of interest in Massachusetts. There's a lawsuit. I'm not familiar with it. I'll familiarize myself with it to present it next week, or ask Anna Toledo to share it with us, because especially if it's very intricate and involved. So those are the cases we're looking for. Those are the things. And don't forget the one that's coming up behind us to the Fifth Circuit as well. That is in March. And that one is, I love that one. I mentioned before, it's based on the technicality. And that technicality next month could absolutely say that the watch list is invalid, and, it has to be destroyed, period. And it has to be exposed and destroyed, period. So that's the one that, that's very hopeful, which we would benefit, all of us would benefit from a positive decision, a favorable decision from that case. And we, of course, would continue on with our case and watch our case, because the plaintiffs depend on that, and we depend on that as well, because that's our template, that's our model. And I sure hope that in the meantime you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, like journaling and keeping notes and getting your medical stuff done, and whatever you can prove and show, because at the end of the day, when that time comes, it's going to be what you can prove and show, not what I think I remember, and vaguely this happened, and don't you remember, didn't you see this happen, that kind of stuff. None of that. So it's only the black and white, only what you can show and prove. So that's what we'll be looking for. And that's all I have tonight. So we're going to open up for Q&A. Not open up. We're going to take, if you have a question, you can star 6. And tonight it's just me. So let's be kind, as usual, guys. I love you guys. I know this is a real group, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And tomorrow, let me just announce. Let me make some announcements before we do that. Tomorrow I have a busy day, and I hope you follow me. Follow GoGi tomorrow on Love Day. It's Valentine's Day, and I'm thinking about the brokenhearted. I'm thinking about the Lonely Hearts Club and all the people, because we have such hopes and desires and so forth, and we're like in this interrupted, imprisoned world, and they intentionally impact our relationships negatively. So I'm going to I have an interview with I Shall Bloom, the I Shall Bloom show. I should have asked Sandy to share about it because I'm not that familiar with the show. But I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. And also I will be on Sister Sonia's call in the evening at 8 o'clock. We moved the time up a little bit till 8, and on Wednesday, so that we can share, to spread love. So the message is about love and marriage. Love and marriage. We're going to talk about love and marriage biblically, and we're also going to have songs, just good, feel-good songs about love, songs about God, just some song. We're going to do some singing. So if you can come and support us on her call, that'll be great. And watch the I Shall Bloom show. Sandy, if you can star 6 and get in line so that you can share about the show, that would be great. And voices are available the rest of the month for the songs that we have prepared for any moderator. We'll come to your show and hopefully bless your show and spread some joy and have some fun. That's all. And, so don't forget to sign up for the rally, because we're looking forward to that happening. And donate to Targeted Justice. We're going to need it moving forward. And buy my book. We're going to put a commercial on. We're going to put our commercials on now, and then we're going to get ready to answer your questions. The book is GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You Are a Targeted Individual. And I say to buy it because it for those of you who are new, and it'll confirm, not only confirm that you are one, but it'll also help you to think back in the past, so you can think about when this started and maybe why. And you might think it started 5 years ago, and if you read it and think about some of the things that happened, you might find out, well, that happened to me 10 years ago. And you might find out that it was longer than you think, because sometimes we just think these are it was just unfortunate things were happening in my life, not intentional, but they were actually intentionally happening against you. And it's also good to share with other people so they'll know what's going on. And, and I have book 2 coming up. I'll tell you about that another time. All right, so we're going to play our commercials, and then we're going to take questions. Go ahead.
Are you feeling like something strange is happening in your life? You tell others, but nobody believes you? Well, get ready to uncover the truth with GoGi Justice's groundbreaking book, GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You're a Targeted Individual. GoGi Justice, an everyday person just like you, has written a book that exposes the covert illegal activities happening right under our noses. With a writing style that's raw, honest, and relatable, GoGi takes you on a journey through the dark world of targeted individuals. You'll ask yourself if you are experiencing these signs. Learn about infiltration, gang stalking, privacy violations, and even hacked home appliances. GoGi's book is a beacon of hope, providing encouragement, tips, and resources for those who find themselves trapped in this nightmare. It's time to fight back and regain control of your life. So if you're tired of feeling isolated, unheard, and targeted, grab a copy of GoGi's 10 Signs which indicate you're a targeted individual. Available now on Amazon.com and the Targeted Justice Etsy shop. Don't let them silence you any longer. Take the first step towards understanding, empowerment, and freedom. Get your copy today and join the movement. GoGi Justice's book, A Voice for the Targeted Individuals.
Are you a targeted individual looking for support and connection? Look no further than TIEvents.org, the ultimate event site for targeted individuals worldwide. Discover a wide range of upcoming events from conferences and meetups to rallies and fundraisers. Connect with like-minded individuals, participate in informative conference calls, and explore a wealth of resources. Visit TIEvents.org today and join a thriving community of targeted individuals. Together, we can make a difference. TIEvents.org, empowering targeted individuals worldwide.
All right. Beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. Visit TI Events, everybody. It has all the events of the TI community that's coming up, and it is actually packed. Moderators are popping up all over the place, and there's so many things to do and different calls and so forth. So check it out and see which one is the one that you like and feel most comfortable at. I hope it's the J.A.M. All right, and so we are, let me just say in terms of the Jammies, our J.A.M. initiatives, we are really moving forward with the Clergy and Community Forum. So I want to thank everyone who's participating and working with that. We're trying to get responses and get the church leaders out and community leaders. It is difficult, but we're going to push away at it, and we're remembering that every pastor that's there represents quite a few people, so we're looking forward to that at the end of the month. And then we have a great 3-day packed agenda for 1 week in March. And anyone in the San Antonio, Austin, Texas area, send me a email to the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me. I'll share it with everyone next week, but send an email to the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me so I can tell you what's going on, hot off the press. So we're working on something very special for that first week in March. So please stay tuned for that. And if you have a pastor or community leader that you would like us to invite, just send it to me, and we will invite them and so forth. All right, so ready for your Q's and A's.
Hello?
Hi, how are you? Go ahead, caller.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. This is Dana.
Hi, Dana.
I had a couple of questions. First, is it, I heard that us newer TIs can't join the lawsuit. Is that true?
Okay, so there's two parts to join the lawsuit. So number one, you cannot become a plaintiff. There's 18 plaintiffs, and so there will be no more at this point, no more plaintiffs. However, the plaintiffs are a model for us. Where the whole lawsuit in itself is a model or a template for us, so that when it prevails, and we're willing to go all the way with it, when it prevails, we'll be able to take it as a template or a model and use it for our own personal lawsuits, our individual lawsuits. That's one. Number two, there's a portion that is available for persons of interest, and we only have one attorney. She opened up, and I think there was an overwhelming response, which is great. Thank you all very much. So there are so many, maybe almost 2,000. There's a big list of persons of interest. The window is closed right now, but when we get a date or at some other point in time, she's going to open it again So, Dana, that's what you listen for with the time that the window is open again, and you'll be able to register as a person of interest, which means if she's able to get to look at the list and hopefully see, she'll be able to look up the names on the persons of interest, for the persons of interest, find out who nominated you and where and when. So we really want to know when we will put on the list, because we should be compensated accordingly. All right?
Okay.
Hey, Goji.
Everything that I sign up for.
Wait, who is talking? I don't know who's talking.
It's Dana. I said I had 2 questions, and this is my second question.
Wait. Did somebody said, hey, Goji, though? Is that you still or somebody else?
This is Anna. I'm here.
Oh, Anna, hi.
Hi.
I know I heard someone. Hi, this is Anna Toledo, everybody. So go ahead, Anna. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is awesome. I just wanted to share with you that Mayorkas just got impeached.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my. I've been waiting for some good news.
Well, here we have them. The vote was 214 versus 213.
Oh, my God.
So it's the second official capacity defendant that we lose, but since we included him as an individual capacity defendant, I hope, because the fusion centers are the ones that are mostly in charge of going into our houses and breaking in and breaking stuff and stealing stuff. So he has to be held personally liable for directing the offensive. So even though he was impeached for the disaster at the border, we are still watching, the caskets of our enemies go in front of our houses. That's an expression we have in Spanish. I don't know how you say it in English, but it's certainly very humiliating to be impeached. So that's something. That is something that justice is starting to happen. Regarding the person that just called, I hope this is the last time I have to publicly say it. I filed on behalf of 18 people because I don't have the resources to file anything bigger, and I want to give everybody their ticket to filing their $1 million lawsuit with the confirmation of their inclusion in handling codes 3 and 4. That's what we're fighting in the Fifth Circuit. That number 1, handling codes 3 and 4 be eliminated. Number 2, that they're not going to be put in another list. Number 3, that we get access to it because we want to see, and that's what I did the registry for. We want to see when and who put you there, okay? Here's the thing. Don't fall into the trap that many government criminals like to spread in social media, saying it's called a data set. No, it's a database, and by law they have to keep it for 99 years. And the reason they're going for the data set is because they're going to go remove names and clean up their act and then give you a little spreadsheet. No, I want access to the database. I want access to handling codes 3 and 4. That's what I want. So, so when the matter is adjudicated at a Fifth Circuit level, it is our plan to, hold on, let me get a microphone because I have a little background noise here. It is our plan to reopen the registry. I had to close it down because I wanted to do statistics. I have been doing some radio shows, some online shows, and next week I have 2 more, and I needed to close it. It was open for like 4 months. I needed to close it to do the statistics on, for example, 83% of targeted individuals report having tinnitus, 62% report having V2K. So those statistics are very relevant when speaking about the program. And that's why I had to shut it down, because And people have to understand also, if I open it for a certain amount of time, be diligent about it, because I am trying to give you your passport to your $1 million lawsuit, and I'm not making any promises to anybody. What I'm saying is, when you file an individual lawsuit with a good attorney, you have much more chances of getting a very good judgment if you have prepared your evidence, if you have kept your journals, if you have kept, your torn and stained clothes, and you put your little box of evidence, and you make your journal. You have more chances of having, and a journal of your torture, you have more chances, your journal of what the criminal V2K tells you. You have your chances of having a better judgment the day that attorneys are going to come out. They're going to crawl out of the soil. They're going to come out of the woodwork, asking to defend you. I have done a class action lawsuit, and I can tell you that somebody who files their individual lawsuit or a lawsuit between 5 or 10 people gets a compensation much better than in a class action lawsuit, that it's not, because the damages it's not susceptible. The damages are different. I cannot compare myself to somebody. I cannot compare myself to Len Bear's suffering, because the suffering he has is so atrocious. I recognize that his suffering is way bigger than mine, and he should be compensated many, even though they destroyed my body, many more millions than me, because they pummel that man's head every day, and his V2K is crazy 24/7. So I recognize that there are people that deserve way more compensation, and when you have a class action lawsuit, it's like, here's $5,000, go home. So stop the class action lawsuit mentality and look forward to build your journal, build your evidence. And like a wonderful TI that collaborates, he's an amazing volunteer we have, very talented. I'm not allowed to say his name to honor him, but he tells me, do not let them take your happiness away from you. Do not. They can do everything they can, but the one thing you have control of is, don't let them take your happiness away from you while we are free. Okay? Many of you seem to forget, I am also targeted, and I also want to be free. Okay? For me, it's give me liberty or give me death. I refuse to live like this for the rest of my life. So please be kind. Please be compassionate. Please, if you don't have a nice thing to say, don't say it. Because it is this union, it is this solidarity that is making the criminals scared. And that's why they're going crazy. So if you have any questions I can answer, not many because I want other people to participate, but I just wanted to come in here and give those good news about that impeachment. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for answering the question, and thank you for the news. Let me just say something, because, I don't want to be misunderstood. As a Christian, I can't revel in anybody's demise. So my joy is because this is a step in the right direction. This is a step against corruption. And we talked about courage versus corruption. So this is courage. Mayorkas is well entrenched in the political corruption. And so for them to bond together and be courageous and vote him out and impeach him is just a great step. And I am overjoyed about that. What he has to go through as a person is, that's a whole nother thing. I do want to repeat what Attorney Anna Toledo said, was because Cable stepped down the moment she filed a lawsuit in January. Shortly after, within 30 days, he stepped down, and now Mayorkas is being impeached. We have lost two people two of the defendants now. We're less two defendants in the lawsuit. However, because she was smart enough to file against them in their personal capacity, they still have to answer for that. So they're still involved in the personal. Mm-hmm.
They have to respond. They have to answer questions. But most importantly, it's God that takes control. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man does its part, but I am seeing this as, it's God said, just leave it to me. Leave things to me, and that's what's unraveling. And I think it's just, from a credibility perspective, this man just lost all his credibility, because there is nothing more humiliating, for a government official to be impeached.
Right. And there's more to come. There's more to come. I think this is something that needed to be done, and it's going to be a domino effect. There's other things that are going to begin to happen. So I'm just really overjoyed with knowing that they were courageous enough to do this. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing that news. I was just saying that I had there's things. The next 2 weeks, things are going to be happening. I know it, and I didn't have that many videos and stuff, but that just made the night. Thank you so much for that, Attorney Anna. And she's available for questions. Dana, you had a few more. Thank you for receiving your answer. You have it now. You have it straight from the top. And you have any other questions? I'll answer them as well.
Well, I see that there's some questions, but I don't read them. Tranquility, this is the first time I used this, so can you help me out here?
No. We're not going to answer them like that. We're going to take the caller. So Dana we're going to just listen verbally, because I can't even see them. We're going to just go verbally. Okay. Go ahead, Dana. Mm-hmm. Dana, you had another question, or else I'm going to go to the next caller. You said you had another? Is Dana still there?
No, she's muted.
Oh, okay. Okay, so next caller, please. Tranquility.
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. This is
Good afternoon. Pastor K, how are you?
I'm wonderful, and what a night.
What a night, right?
And on the light. Oh, my God,
Anna,
what a joy.
Anna, that's Pastor K, who you referred her to me.
Yes. Hi, the networking. Hi. Welcome.
Hey. Oh, my God. I'm so happy to hear such a good news. And thank you for following up with me. Definitely you sent, GoGi to talk to me, and it was such a blessing. So thank you very much. But let me tell you, as you said, and as, GoGi said, we're going to see more dominic effect take place, because I know you are working very hard. It's like your life has been taken away from you. You could have taken care of the things or your career, but now you stuck with us. You are helping us day and night. You are online. You are on TV. I pray. I said, Lord, this woman went to law school. She pays money. She worked hard. And now she's, stuck with us, helping us. I know you are not going to let that happen like this. I'm the God that we serve. Thank you very much. No, it's not going to let. No, that's not the God that we serve.
Amen.
He's going to definitely recompensate you, and for the work that you are doing. We don't even have money to pay you. I mean, listen, this is God is not a God that just waste people's time or like men. So you definitely are a blessing to us. Thank you for GoGi to connect me with her. I'm really happy to hear you tonight. Speak to you, to hear your voice tonight is such a blessing. God bless you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you so much, Pastor K. Okay.
Thank you so much. I want to say that these criminals, the government criminals, they're not over with me yet. They're constantly like, I talked yesterday to an attorney in Puerto Rico, and immediately thereafter they talked to, I don't know what they told him, how they threatened him, but then he never replied to me again, to an email or to the text message, to the follow-up. So, I mean, these people, they still are going behind. Right after I talk to somebody or I do something, they're still going after and telling the person she's a criminal, she's this, I don't even know what, and they're so stupid because they don't realize there is got to be a point where stop causing harm, stop causing damages, They don't get it. That's why I tell you all, it is so bad. I know I sound like a broken record, but it is. Nobody is going to believe the atrocities they do to you unless you write them and have them in your diary, because nobody can make this stuff up. Because the stupid things these criminals think of are so stupid that really, and I already have a list of, and write down the list of the people you're going to sit down as witnesses, because these people are going to have to testify under oath. Yeah, I got a call from this FBI person, and he told me you were a criminal. And that's how we're going to do it. So don't brush off things that happen to you just like that. No, have your little school notebook somewhere hidden and write there the stuff. Write the names. If you don't want to write the whole thing, just write date, name, and phone, and you will remember, or just keywords, okay? Just make sure you do that.
It's very, very, very important.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
You are touching something very, very important, and that happens a lot to us in that, I would say that situation, that they are slandering us a lot. And I think that's very, very important that you said that to all of us tonight. I think this is a great, key that's going to really help us, is to write down those things. It's true. Many times I'll go places or I'll talk to somebody. I just spoke to an accountant, and he doesn't return my call. He doesn't follow up with me. And this is a guy that I know for so long. So I know what you're saying.
That is how we're going to prove, all of us, the slander and the government defamation. So since 2 or 3 years from now, you're not going to remember that accountant's name. You want to write it, and you want to say, accountant so-and-so, I called, did not return my phone call, Pop, because then we're going to have a list of people, and you can subpoena them. And you're going to have them say under oath, why didn't you call me? What happened? I have here the phone. I have here the phone registry. Here's I called you these many. Don't just call them once. Send them a text message. Just do it various ways so that you have it very documented that you tried. And right after the first time you talked to the person and the person said, yeah, I'm going to help you, then they never called again, because you have to build the way you prove defamation is by proving that people in the community stopped talking to you, didn't want to be friends with you, stopped being nice to you. And the way you do it is you have to have names of people that actually did it. And this is what the government criminals don't understand, that they have leaving everywhere they go, they leave evidence of their malfeasance and their criminality.
That was good there. The way to prove defamation. We're going to talk about that again, how to prove defamation and what to write down so that we can show that defamation of our character was being done. I love that. That's key. Yes. Those people, and we'll be able to call them to the stand. If they don't want to come, they'll be subpoenaed. So that is a beautiful thing. Amen. Amen.
I worked my first 5 years as an attorney. I worked for media. I worked for El Vocero de Puerto Rico. I worked for WACU Radio. I worked for just media. That's how I learned First Amendment and defamation. And the first interrogatory I would ask is, tell me how many people stopped talking to you or retired their friendship from you, stop being your friend or stop inviting you to places. And that was key, because people did not keep a roster of that. But since these criminals continue to do these crimes against us, we have time to build that list. So I urge you all to keep your little list of people, the ones that say, yeah, I'll call you back, or had like yesterday, I had an incredible conversation with this attorney, and then he never returned my message or my email. You see? So that's one of the persons that I know the criminals touched. The criminals called, or the criminals did something. You see what I mean? They call him and say, I'm a criminal. If I'm a criminal, come and arrest me. Come and submit me to a criminal procedure that I'm going to be innocent, and I'm going to then file a civil rights lawsuit against you. But just end the criminal defamation of going around telling everybody that I'm a criminal,
Right. It's a big part of what they do. how they slander us at work, how they slander us in our families, with our friends, and in our business relationships. It's unreal. That's part of the thing where you feel like something's going on. You don't know exactly what, because it's coming from so many different ways. It's hard to really believe that someone is intentionally attacking you, and that's what is really happening.
And you can subpoena, you can do a FOIA. I'm just going to say this one thing. In the future, we can do a FOIA between a phone call between or a subpoena in a legal case. Any calls between FBI or anybody from the defendants and this person, and you can get the evidence of how they email them, or they won't email them. They're going to call because they're not that.
They're not going to email them.
Not that dumb. Yeah.
Well,
so
let me say how it works. This is how they hide. What they do is get someone that knows the person, and they talk to that person, and that person talks to the person. This is how they get it around, try to get around it. But they had to contact someone. They had to contact someone, and that's who we have to find. So
know the person.
These details are so key, and us writing down everything that happens. I mean, I sat and wrote 20 grants, and I'm a grant writer. And each one at a time. Oh, well, we have so many people that we're not going to be able to. Oh, well, we're going to extend the deadline. Oh, all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, you have a good reason, but not this time. All this, and then I found out they were sitting there watching me put each grant in a folder, and they saw the names and they saw everything because they had a camera in my house. They were using one of my cameras, which was in my house, in my kitchen, and they could see me writing at the counter. So they defamed my not-for-profit. If there's a list for not-for-profits or for businesses as well as individuals, then they can put us on that list as well, which I hope we find out about at some point as well. So. All right, I'm just really grateful tonight. I'm excited about what's happening and the information.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Pastor K. We're going to keep going with the next caller, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Anna. Stay by, please. Dana, are you still there, or we're going to move to the next caller? Okay, I got a note that Dana's still there and had more questions, but she's not saying anything. So we're going to move on. When you're ready, let me know. Next caller, please.
Yes. Hello. Greetings, Anna. This is Betty from Alabama, and I was so hi.
Hi.
Oh, I'm looking forward to you coming to the Bama.
Yes, you wait for me.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Amen. And thank you so much. And we just, I was praying today on the prayer line on Minister Jerome's, and of course, I've been doing it anyway, asking God, as He told Jeremiah, to root it up from the root. And I thank God for the revelation that He has given you to root these criminals up. This terrorist organization, I'm not going to call it organization, this terrorist gang of criminals, root their network up, just root it up from the very root and just send it back to out of darkness from whence it came in the name of Jesus. And we just thank you so much, and thank God for putting you at the helm, at the helm of this big operation. And it's not about numbers, and then it is too, but it's about God, hallelujah, the God of creation. And it just thank and praise God for you at the helm of this human rights, big human rights operation that's going down in history. Amen. And so we just thank praise. And God has given me from over a year ago now that we have the victory. I never strayed away from it. And anyone who knows me, I just don't get. I get, we have those moments, but God just gives me to it encourages me to stay uplifted because we have the victory. Amen. And
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Betty. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, sure. And so we just thank you, Attorney Allen. Looking forward to seeing you soon, maybe in the New Orleans. Amen.
Maybe,
yeah.
Okay,
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. And I want to ask you a question while we're waiting for the next caller. I'm wondering if his impeachment will impact. Okay, he ran the fusion centers. Is he now gone from? He's no longer. So he won't be over the fusion centers anymore.
No, well, they're going to put somebody that will continue to run them. And know something. The guy that really handles operations in the fusion centers is the other defendant, Weinstein. He seems quiet, but he's the one. Lighthouse says that he has even probably a higher security clearance than the president. He's the one that fine-tunes what happens at fusion centers. So he's still there. And Mayorkas will have to, remember, I'm not going to stop. This is not going to stop at the Fifth Circuit. It's not going to stop at the Supreme Court. It's not going to stop. So, he's going to have to answer questions, but they're going to just put somebody else in there. But the one that is really directing, I guess, a lot of what happens is defendant Weinstein.
Okay, so they have to find someone to put in there. Well, I'm sure they've been thinking about it because they've been threatened about this impeachment for a while. But hopefully he's somebody, well, I don't know what to say, but I hope they miss a beat. Hopefully they'll miss a beat. This might be an opportunity to go after those fusion centers. That's what I'm thinking.
Please remember that when they impeach somebody, it's for high crimes and misdemeanors, okay? It's not a simple threshold impeaching somebody. The House of Representatives must have concluded that he engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors in order to impeach him.
Okay, but absolutely. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right, next caller, please. Go ahead.
Oh, this is Dana. I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself, but my next question was, everything that I signed up for, I guess they're blocked. They have me blocked from.
Yeah, that's typical with us, unfortunately. Okay, that's a statement. You have a question?
No, that was it. I am blocked from everything.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry you're going through this. We know it's illegal, and we're trying to tear this evil down as soon as we can. In the meantime, that's what they will do. They will block you. They will interfere. They'll do whatever they can to disrupt your life. And discourage
what I recommend when I reopen the forms, if you still cannot get in, go to a public library. They have pretty good security networks. And if you go, the first time you go, it's hard for the government criminals to hack it. The second time, they will already have hacked it. But the first time you go, you can probably get through, okay? So what's really important is that you put, your phone and if you change anything, you inform that you changed it, any address or any email or anything. But just do that. Just, public libraries or libraries in, for example, a law school library, a college library that they can let you go in and use. I don't know how it works wherever you are, but public libraries are really good. The first time I used one that is close by, the first day it wasn't hacked, and I was able to do something. Second day, they sent the perps in, like really smelly and crazy perps around, and then it was hacked. But then I knew that I just have to change the library I go to.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. All right, next caller, please.
Amen. Godzi, Dios te bendiga, Attorney Anna. Oh, I'm telling you, I just need to say that anyone that is doubting tonight, my Lord God has been showing up and showing out and letting us see that he is moving on our behalf. And we just got to continue to have faith in him, and that is why it's so important to walk by faith and not by sight, and to take God at his word. And I tell you, I am so encouraged tonight, and God is so good. And I will tell you, I just know without a doubt he is going to part that Red Sea once again. So thank you again, Attorney Anna, for all that you do and being like a Moses now. So God bless you, and thank you, Godji.
Thank you for being here. God bless you, Sister Samia.
Thank you, Samia. Thank you so much. Keep up your prayers, because I know they're heard.
Amen. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Oh, good evening. I have a question regarding hacked emails. I was in the library and I was had opened a draft. I saved my journal and I used the draft section of my account. And right before my eyes, the text disappeared. So I just wondered.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that. Yes, we're hacked. Yes, they interfere with our devices and things that we're doing. That's why we're trying to bring it down. You can do what you can to try to secure your phone and your devices. I hear a lot of noise from Can you mute yourself, ma'am? We're going to mute you. I'm sorry.
I just did.
Okay. So you didn't mute yourself. You stopped the noise? Because I can hear you, but I don't hear the noise anymore. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you so much, all right?
Thank you.
Next caller, please.
Hi, GoGi. This is Eileen in Florida. Can you hear me?
Hi, Eileen. How are you?
Hi. My question has to do with the update for 702. I saw on the news that there was a major development today. They met and had a huge meeting, and they're going to meet again tomorrow at 2 p.m. So my specific question has to do with, does the weaponization of the IRS have something to do with the 702? Is it connected? And I wonder if Anna can answer that question for me.
Well, I don't think so. I think the weaponization of the IRS is against all targeted individuals, and we all know that because we have all been there. Once when I had to call to get my balance of my debt, I asked the man, I said, I'm a targeted individual. Do you know what that is? He says, are you kidding me? I work for the IRS. I get 40 calls a week from targeted individuals. Okay? So they know that they're part of the problem. 702, what it does is gives a blank check to the security agencies, especially FBI, to do warrantless surveillance on us, okay? That's why when you get a call from a phone number outside of the United States, you don't answer it because it's a trap to try to renew a FISA warrant on you, okay? You don't ever answer or text messages or phone calls from outside of the United States, because that is a trap, and that's what 702 is about. And the judges in the FISA court have supposedly been undergoing a process of trying to make a little bit the FBI accountable for renouncing the Woods procedures that are the procedures they're supposed to carry out when saying I want to do surveillance on this person, on this American citizen, because that's what the problem is about 702, that they are FISA was created for foreign people, investigation of foreign people, and they are using it to circumvent the obligation to go before an Article 3 court magistrate and give an affidavit and say, yeah, I think this person, there's probable cause that this person is involved in illegal actions, this and this and this and that. And since they don't meet that threshold, they go over to the FISA court and say, oh, no, she's a terrorist. She had a phone call, look, with this Iranian, like they did to me, with this Iranian that lives in London. And that's how they, let's renew the FISA on her. Give her FISA and then renew it. So it's two separate things. What I think that what the IRS does is that they get probably a memo from somebody, go after this person, and that's just what they do. Because it's a weaponized agency, and I'm not saying it. It's Congress. It's been testimony that has been said in Congress under penalty of perjury. I'm not making it up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your question, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Next caller, please. We're watching that 702. It expires now April 19th. It was extended with the act, and so it will, again, they're going to address it April 19th. And remember, one of the things they said is they hadn't modified it. So right now, one of the things we should be doing is writing and asking the senators to modify it so that they will still have to get a warrant against us. There's a bill that they tried to get passed, and I remember this, I think it was Bill Griggs, I can't remember this senator's name, and we want to look at what they were trying to pass, and that's how they should modify it or eliminate it. So, but they need to be working on it now. Don't come up April 19th and say, well, we have nothing to replace FISA 702 with, so we can't just be wide open, So they need to replace it now, modify it now, or do whatever they have to do so that they don't come up with the same answer. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I urge everybody to follow. It's Andy Gibbs. I think it's Biggs. Biggs from Colorado. Follow him on Twitter and social media because he is a huge fighter against Section 702.
Yeah, and he had he was pushing for it, and he was very happy that they voted, before it went to the floor, that they voted in his favor. So he was excited about it. And I don't know what happened, but we want to support him and what he's doing, and he needs to make sure it gets through. All right. Mm-hmm. All right.
Hello?
Yes, hi. Who's
Hello?
that? Hi.
Regina.
Hi, Regina.
From Michigan. How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Hi. Okay. Hello, Ann Toledo. But I wanted to ask this question. It's a little simple question. I was watching the Stella show that her and Richard was on, and I thought when I was at work, I know I heard her say something about, unless it's the criminals, said something about they mess with your cars and your tires. But the next time I went to look at the show again, it didn't mention it. So I was trying to figure out, was that the case, or was I hearing
of
things?
Course.
Yeah.
No, you're not hearing things. Look, the criminals, the anonymous video they did on targeted individuals that Greg Reese did too, they removed the word terrorist from screening database. It was a terrorist screening database. They removed the word terrorist. They mess with. I'll look again at the interview and see if they caught things up. But I have no. I have no doubt they do that because you know what? This is what they're scared of. The cat is out of the bag, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but imagine 1 year ago nobody was talking about targeted individuals, and now it's out.
Exactly.
And that's what they're so scared of, and they're trying. It's like, a boat that has holes in the bottom. It's a sinking ship, and they're trying to put their fingers in there to cover to stop the hole, the water from coming in. But they can't stop it. It's sinking.
Right. But the reason why I was listening to that part because they're doing that to my car. they're messing with my tires. So when I heard that, I was like, hold my hand up. Yeah, that's me. But
and not only that, they will. They look. My dream is buying a 1985 little red convertible with roll-up windows because they cannot mess with that. Any new car, they will mess with your windows. Even with the 2000 car I had, they will roll them. They will electronic, with a frequency. They will make your windows go up, go down, not go up. They will turn off your car. They will make it not turn on. It's all a frequency, a microwave frequency. They will open the locks of your car. They will close it. GoGi was the other night in my house. They turned on the lights of her car while she was inside the house. So these criminals, they spend American taxpayer money, and this is what you should just be out there saying. They are spending hundreds of thousands of American taxpayer money a week, or maybe even every 3 days, just playing these little stupid tricks to hack with your car. Okay? So it's just that's the way. So you know what? Don't let them take your happiness away from you.
Exactly. They call it psyop. All these psychological games, Regina. It's just some things we can ignore, but but not. Although it's annoying, but some things we can ignore. Sorry, we're all going through this, and our goal is to get it done as soon as possible. Thank you for being here.
Now I got one more question. Just one.
Okay.
I just want to ask this: is anyone having problems with spit in their house? Like spit all over the wall.
I heard somebody say it before. I did hear someone say it before.
Okay. Well, I thought it was just me. But I want to thank you for having this call, and thank Anna for being on the call, doing good work.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. God bless. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, GoGi. It's Deborah from New Jersey.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, GoGi. How are you tonight?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good. Thank you for all your work. And Anna, it is a pleasure to speak with you tonight, and I am grateful for all your hard work. Words cannot express my gratitude for your leading this effort, this lawsuit. So I am really thankful. And Richard Lighthouse, for all his years of research in putting this wonderful website together so that we're better able to understand all the nuances of all this targeting that we are forced to endure. And, of course, Len Bear, who is just, incredible for his efforts in speaking out and also leading the charge here. So I am grateful to all of you. So I am humbled to speak to you tonight, Anna. So you mentioned about the impeachment today. So is this specific to the? I'm sorry, I'm losing track. Is this specific to the
border crisis? It is.
Yeah. Is he going to be charged with? Will he have to answer to specifically to the? Oh gosh, what is the word?
Department of Justice. Well, what happens now? I guess they're going to recommend. They're going to recommend that a special prosecutor be assigned, but that's I don't know. We have to see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So assigned in relation to his involvement
the high crime, whatever high crimes and misdemeanors. I haven't read it. Okay, I just saw it on Twitter, and I just think that look, when you are a really honest and good person, these things don't happen to you. Okay. So on the flip side, in my experience, in my lifetime, I have seen that it is when people have had a lifetime of doing bad things that they finally catch up with them, right?
Sure, yeah.
Not because of the first bad thing they do, but a lifetime of bad things, or maybe a decade of bad things. So I think that this is very courageous of the people that voted, because we all have seen the disaster that is going on in the border. And let me tell you, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, I think that part of the reason, this is my own theory, but, you know, I get intuitive hits, okay? And part of the reason I think they are letting this disaster come in is not only to get voters to vote for their party, but to get criminals to gang stalk us. Because here's the thing. They get a lot of M16 here in Texas, a lot of M16 criminals that are gang stalkers. And what they do is, you're going to do this for us, and if you talk or don't do it right, we're going to deport you. That is the best gang stalker they have, because they have something on them, right? So these people get paid to be the criminals that they have been all their life, these M16 gang members, etc., to come to stalk and harass innocent Americans. And that's just my own personal theory of why, part of the reason why they have allowed this border crisis, because it is manpower for the criminal operation, Stasi operation of following people around, and it is done by people that don't know the civil rights of others and that don't have scruples or a sense of what being a free person is, you know. And that's just me. That's my personal opinion as to one of, I think that the border crisis has many reasons for it. And one of them, there's, you know, they want to destabilize the government. They want to do, you know, many things. But one of them, I am very convinced, listen, this program was going to be rolled out to the entire population, not just the 400,000 targeted individuals. So they needed a huge army of criminal vigilantes willing to become gang stalkers. And what better manpower than people that are willing to take small pay for it, low pay for it, that don't have scruples. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm Puerto Rican. I am an American citizen, and I am not anti-immigrant, okay? Because I believe that this is the land of the free and people can come here and do, but that's one thing. The other thing is allowing people that have a rap sheet and that are known criminals thrown out from their countries to come into this country, okay? That's a very different thing, okay? So don't go anybody going around saying I'm anti-immigrant, because I'm not. I am Puerto Rican, and I am Hispanic, and I love my Latino brothers and sisters that from Mexico to Patagonia are suffering and being targeted as well. So that's, you know, that's absolutely not it. But I see it because I have seen it here in Texas. I have seen criminals, they are absolute criminals chasing us around, okay? So I think that that's part of the strategy. Part of their strategy was to bring a lot of these criminals to spread all over the place to continue with their gang stacking / Stasi program.
You know, and thank you, Anna. When you filed the lawsuit and the judge's ruling using the word fantastical, well, we remember that word, right? Fantastical.
Yes.
I couldn't help but wonder if this frequency also was directed at this judge. And so how we can have a conversation, and, you know, this is a hypothetical question, how we can have a conversation or try to figure out how we're able to explain to people that we need to understand and we need to who are judges and who are senators and congresspeople who need to better understand this situation and how we're able to explain this frequency so that they aren't misguided and misled so that our voices aren't heard. I think this is partly what's happening, is that this frequency is also, leading them astray here in terms of being able to judge this situation correctly so that we are able to be heard.
Yes, that's a great question.
Am I being clear about that?
Oh, yeah, that's an excellent question, and thank you for it, and Anna, it's two-pronged. For those of you that read this week's Substack newsletter, a Targeted Justice newsletter about the Super Bowl, I didn't write it, but it talks about that you can determine, and the comments were very enlightening, because people recognize that, that sports require mental acuity and agility and fast thinking. And if you do the brain fog that they do on you right now, on me right now, to a player in a game, you know that you can sway the outcome of a game, okay? My specific reply to you is this. We did a Rumble channel where that wonderful, awesome volunteer is helping me upload collections of interviews. It's called Real Targeted Justice, okay? It's in Rumble. And in there, we also have the Vax Choice, the symposium that it was Richard, it was Len, it was Dr. Mihalcha, it was me and Jeffrey Prather and attorney Todd Callender. And so we are all professionals, and we're explaining the program from these perspectives, okay, documented. And in my specific case, the reason why this case was different from all of the before is because we have the admissions by the FBI and the DOJ that there are two secret categories in the terrorist screening database that are comprised of people that do not meet the reasonable suspicion criteria and therefore should not be in any list, and that's where it all stems from. Why are these people that are placed on this list of terrorists under secret criteria, why are they placed there? Well, the only reply to that is because it's a human experimentation roster, the continuation of MKUltra. So I urge you to share that with people that are non-targeted individuals that are close to your family, friends, employers, relatives, whatever, and say, look, it's not me saying it. These are professionals, and they know what they're talking about, and there is evidence, black and white documents under penalty of perjury where the FBI admits that there are people on this list that comprise 97% of the list, and they are not screened at airports. You have to ask yourself, how is it possible that 97% of the people in the terrorist screening database are not screened at airports? Because, as that man said, they do not represent a terrorist threat. Then what are they doing in a terrorist database? Because they have a number assigned to them, and with that number, the criminals, the government criminals at the Space Force, fire microwave weapons at them. And so you don't have to take it to the torture part. You can only ask. One of the ways I learned how to have a good argument is, instead of saying, no, but this, no, but that, no, just ask questions. You ask.
Right.
Why would the government maintain, as has been admitted, and I put in that presentation, you can make screenshots of my slides, because in my slides I put the actual text that was signed under penalty of perjury by that man who was the deputy director of the Terrorist Screening Center. Okay? So what you do is you say, why would the FBI put people on a terrorist list without meeting the terrorist criteria and without screening them at airports because they know they're not terrorists? Why? Let's start with that. Okay? And so it's just, the way that symposium, it's a 2-hour thing. I think it's 2 hours, but it's very condensed. It's a condensed primer, and it's a gift to the targeted community For those of you that they tell you you're crazy, you don't know, no. Because as I have always been saying, if you want to succeed in explaining it to somebody, don't make it about yourself. Don't go, they did this to me, they did this to me, no. Make it about the community. Make it about the children that are being tortured with V2K. Make it about the grandmothers. That I have a 100-year-old grandmother in a retirement community that she is tortured with the weapons. Make it about others. Don't make it about yourself so that people don't lose interest in your conversation.
Right, and also make it about the evidence. People like
exactly, the evidence is there.
Like Duncan, who has come forward, who helped create the remote neural monitoring part of it, and who's now a whistleblower. So make it
Richard,
about
Richard's presentation has the evidence. He has the evidence. He put it in his presentation in that symposium. Okay, so I just urge you. Go in there, it's called Real Targeted Justice in Rumble. Go in there and look at the videos and see maybe there is one, there is another that will be the best one to present the evidence to that person that is a non-believer. Regarding the judges, well, 1/3 of the population is highly suggestible. I am praying to God that that's not the case with the judges that we get, and that God has put us on this battle because we are strong, because we are capable, and because we have been chosen to bring an end to this atrocity. If we don't put an end to this, it was going to be rolled out to the entire population. So let's just find strength in that. Let's find strength in the privilege that we have to shine light upon darkness.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Satan is mighty and God is almighty. Thank you, Hannah. God bless you.
God bless you, Deborah. Thank you so much. All right. Next caller, please. A few more.
Anna.
Yes. Hi, G.
Hi. This question is for any one of you that can answer it. There was a symposium. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
There was a symposium that was done by Anna was there, Dr. Mahausia, Lighthouse. All of them were there at this symposium that you done on January 27th. Now, Dr. Mahausia talked about a surgery that I think she said she had it or somebody had it. It was in reference to a meningioma surgery. And that's the exact same thing that she said is happening to me. Well, it happened to me 5 years ago. I need to, and that at that time there was an implant done without my permission. So I need to know, what do I need to do? I need to speak with her, because this is a rare thing. This surgery is very rare. And I was really surprised to hear that at least I found someone that had this surgery. So I need to speak with her and ask her, what is it that I need to do in reference to this? So how do I get in touch with her?
Well, go to Substack and go look at her page in there, and there she has all her website addresses. Her office is in Washington State, so you'd have to travel there to see her. But I think she also has telemedicine. So the best way is to go into her website, that you can find it in her Targeted Justice, in her Ana Mihalcha Substack, and from there, take it from there. But yeah, I think she actually does telemedicine, so you might be able to do it without traveling to Washington State.
All right, Anna, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, next caller, please. Hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for all of you, GoGi, Anna, all of you. This is so empowering to me. I've been at TI, or at least 6 years that I know of. I've got VGK voices 24/7 nonstop, and it's the same thing most of us are experiencing. These criminals out there, perpetrators, try to make me out one, and I'm not. I don't do anything illegal, but they do. I know they do. I think they do criminal behavior. They do trade-offs for their criminal behaviors and part of this, what I understand. And this is just so empowering to me. I have a targeted individual support group that I've got over 2,000 members, and I would love to put on some podcasts with this. I'm trying to push that. And we have some chat groups too. I love you. Targeted justice. I'm going to rock the clothing and buttons and all that. Targeted individuals' lives matter. Targeted lives matter, and hand it out to people. Flyers. Targeted individuals notebook just for the legal action cause. Record things when people turn me down or whatever, and we mail a lot. I have multiple police reports. My perpetrators were former neighbors, but I know there's a lot more people behind it because of the game this is about.
Okay, what's your? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What's your name, ma'am?
Michelle McLean in Oklahoma.
Hi, Michelle from Oklahoma. I remember when you called in earlier when you announced yourself. What is your question, and what is your question, please?
Well, is there any way, like if I am successful to get on a podcast like Van Hall, that Targeted Justice would like to be involved with?
Well, if you would like to, if you get an invitation for Targeted Justice to be a part of a podcast, please just send me an email, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me.
Oh, okay, I will do that. Because
all right.
Groups together and,
all right. God bless you, and be be safe, and we're trying to bring it down. All right.
I am. This has really brought me back out, be empowering. I know how to do some legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer, but I've studied, on my own with that. I mean, I do have some college. It's empowering to me. I'm grateful for y'all. I want to be here for all our TIs. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, Michelle. Thank you.
Blessings. Appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Mm-hmm. God bless. Next caller, please.
Oh, hi, GoGi, and hi, Anna. This is Dory in Florida. I have a quick
Dory.
Hi. I have a quick question about Peter's report. Do we know the status on that?
Oh, my God. I can't wait to get it back. No. I'm sorry. No response from that. No response from the one with Elizabeth Warren and the other 12 of them, the 13 that's in. And they had a private briefing on January 9th, and we still have zero response. So we're waiting. We're still waiting. But and I'm thinking that we need to write. We need to start writing them and asking them what happened. We need to write the 13 of them, and we need to write Gary Peters' office, and we need to ask what happened with them, with their memos. They showed us the memos. They made them public. They said they were asking or demanding a response within a certain amount of time. That's what the 13 did. And they had a private briefing, and nobody has said anything, and it's past 30 days. So we do need to push for that, Dory. Good question. And we're looking forward to see what happens with the watch list. We know it's flawed, and we know it's illegal, and we know that it's just the tip of the iceberg for what they're doing to us. And so we need something done. Certainly they're going to come up with some corrective actions, and we need to push them since it's been over 30 days now.
Yes, the silence at our government is really making me wonder what is going on.
Yes, I agree. Well said. Well said.
I think that they are all running scared because when they opened Pandora's box and they realized, oh my God, so many private contractors, so many, because U.S. Postal Service is complicit, and we all know it, that they tamper with our mail, and they work. 1% of the people that work at the fusion centers are postal workers. We know that many private companies are involved. For example, Richard is not allowed to do Western Union envoys. And many other that I'm not going to name now, but we know that many private people, many doctors, many physicians, many radiologists, many higher education entities, so many people are involved in the millions of dollars that they are just like, oh my God, we have to stop this, but they don't know how to stop it without unleashing the liability that comes along with the retribution, with the pain of the damages that they have done to all these people that for so long they have treated so badly and that they have called crazy. So that's what I think is happening. They're like, oh my God, if we continue with this, this is what's going to happen. I think, but they know they have to stop it. They know they have to stop the abuse.
I don't know who knows they have to stop it. It's to the degree I think they don't even care if our country is destroyed, because they just condone terrorism by not doing anything, by keeping this covered. Continue to cover this up, because this is going to destroy our country. Actually, we don't have much of a country left as it is.
Yeah, I think that the ones who are finding out about it, because I don't think everybody knew about it, but the ones that are finding out about it are concerned about, and they're probably using this in their dialogue, they're concerned that when it's exposed, it is going to be a big revolution. There's going to be anarchy. It's going to be really disruptive. However, our lives are just 400,000 Americans are disrupted. That's enough. And so they must be trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know what they're doing, but I think the person who, I think it's just it's maniacal. A person that's maniacal is at the helm and won't stop it, and no one will stand up to that person. I don't know who's totally in charge, but it's just got to stop. And I believe that what we see going on around the globe is things that will eventually bring it to a halt. And we just have to hold on, Dory, and keep believing and holding on, because it is going to stop. Oh, trust me, it's going to stop. So we have to hold on and believe in and know that it's going to stop. Mm-hmm.
It's hard to, I'm not even going to guess the reason, but I do hope the reason is not to maintain, to be number one status, and in the process of that, destroy America and destroy the whole world.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's when we get into conspiracy theories. I mean, there are a lot of theories. I don't mean to get into
conspiracy, but this kind of silence and to condone this kind of crime, it's really murder of U.S. citizens. So, and the crime, to me, to my family, I'm not even going to talk about it. But, it's just if you don't do anything, you don't say anything, this crime ring is going to get bigger by the day. And they know it. I don't believe we need to educate them about the danger of this weapon. They know it.
Yeah, it's and I don't mean to say don't get involved with conspiracy theories. I try to. There's so many out there. When you say why are they doing it, there's so many different ones that explain why the New World Order, depopulation, blah blah blah. There's so many, and so I mean it's like choose one.
But this is, this is a real life, real crime. This is
it is
conspiracy theory.
No. Well, when you figure out, when you look at why is this happening, it's called conspiracy theories. You have to look at the different ones, which could tell you why it's happening. So unless we're in those offices, in those meetings while they're planning and so forth, that's why it's called a conspiracy theory. But the bottom line is the conspiracy is taking place, and it's real, and we're hurting, and we want it stopped. And, and then anything else can be exposed from there. But so, just hang in there with us. And, yes, America is decaying. And this is a big example of that, and we just need to expose this and have it destroyed.
And I have to add, when we do expose it, which is what we're trying to do, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of RICO acts. That is Racketeering, Influencing, Corruption Act lawsuits filed across the nation, because this is the federal government conspiring with private enterprise to put a lot of people out of business, to take their money, to steal from them. So this is going to unleash a plethora of RICO Act lawsuits around the nation. And that's what I tell you. The attorneys are going to come out of the woodwork begging to represent you.
But they are trying to murder us. My question is, if you look at the watch list, CBS report, it covers a lot, covers just about everything except this dangerous weapon. There's no mention of this dangerous weapon. So there must be a reason. And I wonder what kind of reason it is.
Well, it's very simple.
Our government decides to keep silent.
Because the watch list is comprised of known and suspected terrorists. And
so that's an excuse. That's what excuse.
But, okay, fine. But what I'm saying is, the watch list does not include handling codes 3 and 4, which is where most targeted individuals are placed, even because nobody's supposed to know about them. The journalists don't even ask about handling codes 3 and 4, which, by the way, probably they already changed their name now just to try to make us look bad. But we have the evidence that as of when we filed the lawsuit, it was handling codes 3 and 4. And the reports and the audit reports and everything are there. So it's, even it's like the data said, it's stupid for them to change the name and think that, you can change the color on a dog and it's still going to be the same dog. So what they're trying to do is that. But journalists, that's what we're going into programs, into video interviews, and letting the world know that it's not just about the watch list, that the watch list is a minuscule 0.5% of the entire terrorist screening database that is actually comprised of innocent Americans and innocent civilians around the world. And that's what you need to tell everybody around you. Don't make it about, they did this to me, they did this to me. No, make it about innocent Americans are being placed on a secret part of the terrorist screening database under secret criteria, and tomorrow it could be you.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop it right here. We have 3 more people, and it's past the bewitching hour. So, Dory, thank you for your questions. Thank you, Anna Toledo. 3 people in queue. Thank you. All right, 3 people in queue. No one else jump on, please. 3 people. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. First caller. Hi.
Hello, this is Saqib. Hi, how are you? Sorry if there is background noise because I'm driving. I have 3 quick things. The very most important is I registered for my name to be checked 2 times, and one time I got no email from.
I got it. I'm confirming to you. I got it. So go to your next question.
Okay, so my date of birth, no, because I got email from you, date of birth was missing. You have it, right?
Yes, I have it.
Thank you, Sakib. Go ahead, next one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, second quick thing. I saw an email from Lighthouse, Richard Lighthouse, about memorandum on those who have passed away. And I might have mentioned it in the past. I think it would be a good idea to have a section that, just like a section that's there, anytime a TI passes away, should be added. TI name, state, whatever more relevant information. And those who have already passed away, they're hundreds. I've been targeted 20 years. Over the time, I've seen so many committed suicide pass away. We can find them out because PACS has that information. The other sites have it. Add them. They all become relevant when these lawsuits start successful. We cannot forget them. They were all,
we're not going to forget them. That's why we're going to do that section.
We're working on it. Good idea. We're working on it. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Next, and your last one.
Thing I was going to ask you was, third last thing is, if there's a possibility that those neurologists, there are 2 or 3 of them, who their articles were on them, who did the Havana syndrome diagnosis, not talking about Dr. Hoffer. I'm talking about neurologists, experts who came up. Is it possible that we can at least get in touch with them? Hey, after the lawsuit, we have all these that needs to be, evaluated.
Yes, on an individual. Yes, on an individual basis. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have to be careful because they work for the government. Is possibly they may not acknowledge anyone because even for the government, 200 cases, they only acknowledge maybe 12. Others, they told them it's something else.
Right.
Anyway,
you can get the. All right. Thank you. You're a pleasure, Sakib. Thank you so much. God bless you. But we know some people have the diagnosis. The government still will not acknowledge it. They only deal with the diplomats. So, but thank you. Thank you for your questions and always for your input. Next caller, please. 2 more. 1, 2, 3. We're up to number 2.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you ladies tonight?
We're good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. This is Mike from Omaha.
Hi, Mike from Omaha.
I have a question. I was doing a background check, and I ran across a website. I think it's called Background Checkmate. I put all my information in it, and it said that I was on a watch list, but it had all the information as far as my wife, my kids' name, and birth dates and all that. It had all that information correct. Is that correct? You think that they do have me on some type of watch list?
If you are a targeted individual, you are in the TSCB. That is the human experimentation roster. However, those services are not reliable evidence to prove that. That's why we're suing Ray and FBI and Mayorkas and all of them, because that is not really, and when you sign up for it, it tells you, well, what we're giving you here may be okay, but it might not be reliable, So it's really not an official record, and it's really nothing that you can submit in evidence.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Mike. Mike, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you again on the J.A.M. Last question, number 3. Here we go. Go ahead, please. And then I have a message from Missy. Let me just tell you what Missy said, as I promised her I would. And she said, tell Anna I love her, and it made the raggedy day brighter. And I thank you and her for the hard work you have done. Okay. That's from Missy. All right. And the last question. The last question of the night. Go ahead.
Hi, GoGi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, this is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Anna. This question is for you. I first want to say thank you, Anna, for your courageous lawsuit. And I wanted to also say that whenever I hear you explain the case, you explain it very well. I wish you could explain it to my family or somebody. You're so good at explaining it. And then my question is, there was a caller on the Chief Show, and she said that we should be documenting our DEW attacks, like showing pictures of it hitting our homes or hitting our houses, and then we should be filing reports so that there is a record. And she said that if we do this, if something was to happen to us, we'll have that kind of record. And I brought it up on the Chief Show, and I didn't get, really an answer for it. But I wondered if you, Anna, know anything about what she was talking about, because it sounds really good what she was saying.
Yeah, it was precisely today, I think, or yesterday, that I got somebody sent me a tweet with something called, I don't know, do police, directed energy weapons police, and saying exactly that. And here is my position to you. Be wary of, first of all, you don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. The criminals posing as somebody legitimate. I don't know who they are. And you're going to be giving them your name, your address, your confidential information, really. For all you, I don't know who these people are, but anybody that calls themselves a police, but they are not a member of the law enforcement, ask them, are you law enforcement? Really? What law enforcement agency are you affiliated with? And if you are not affiliated with a law enforcement agency, you shouldn't call yourself a police, because that's a misrepresentation, in my very humble opinion. Okay? So I said to them, are these the criminals making this noise?
She said she was a licensed electrician, but she knows about electromagnetic. She knows all about electromagnetic.
No, that's not my reply to you. Number one, what authority does that person have to prosecute any Jew crimes? Zero. Number two, are you going to provide your confidential information to anybody you don't even know? I'm just saying, be careful with these setups that people do. I don't know about it. I'm just telling you, be careful. If you are a targeted individual, would you go into a website and say, here's my name, here's my address, this is when it happened, this is my car, you know what I mean? I haven't gone in there. I'm not going to go in there. I'm just telling you, one of the reasons why we very naively fell into this targeting is because we shared information with people that sold us out. We were innocent, many of us. We never thought that there was people collecting information about us to use it against us or to spy on us. All I'm saying is be careful, investigate, don't be gullible, don't be naive. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who these people are, but nobody has the authority to prosecute the criminals at the Space Force except for the United States Department of Justice. That's what I have to tell you. The Sheriff's Department here in Alvin, Texas, does not have the authority to file charges against the criminals that are doing the Jew attacks on you, because they are federal agents. Okay? So anybody telling you, report it. No. I say keep a journal, keep photographs, look at Mitch's pictures that are all over the place. Have photographs, keep a journal. Write about the duration of your pain, write about the time, write about, if you're flooded with whatever, cars, planes, whatever. Just write the time, the date, whatever. But honestly, reporting it to somebody that you don't even know, that doesn't really help you in any way, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a way you can use that spectrum, that tiny spectrum analyzer and your RF meter to take some kind of reading in your home and things like that. That's the kind of thing I would journal, not so much getting a stranger to come in and do anything. No. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your call and your input. So it was a good question, and I would lean away from it. I learned how to use these tools to make an assessment ourselves. Thank you so much, though. All right, everybody. I think, yes. And that sound means we cleared the line late, but it's okay. It was all good. So we're going to open up to say goodnight. I did make announcements already. Look for us tomorrow. We're going to be on Sister Samia's call. I'm going to talk about love and marriage for Valentine's Day. And we're going to also, the voices are going to be there to sing. I'm going to be on the I Shall Bloom show in the daytime tomorrow. And so please follow that as well. Also, this week, on the 16th, is Anna Toledo's birthday. Please give her a warm happy birthday when we open up, guys. And if you want to send a donation to her through Targeted Justice, please do so. Just say, happy birthday, Anna Toledo, and we'll know that you want it to be used specifically for her birthday and her sacrifice and the time that she spends on this lawsuit and on everything on our behalf. All right, let's open up. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Love ya!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Thank you. I love you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for love you. Thank you for her.
Happy birthday to you.
Hallelujah.
Happy birthday.
Aww. Happy birthday. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for having. Thank you. We love you. We love you. Thank you for your work. Thank you. Thank you. Hallelujah. There's hope. There's hope with you. Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.